watching 5 Star Live. East Tennessee's #1 post-game high school football show. Live on location from the biggest game of the week. Live interviews from the winning coaches and players, along with highlights from other big games from around Tennessee. Your host, Jesse Smithy, with decades of experience covering high school sports, and his 5-star preps team will update you on games as they become final and will break down region outlooks and what's to come for your favorite football teams and top players. Now, get ready for the most comprehensive high school football coverage in Tennessee on 5 Star Live.
Welcome in, everybody. Week 9 edition of 5 Star Live right here at Fulton High School, where we saw a wild game here in the second half. Fulton comes back to beat Campbell County 33-26. They trail by 7 at halftime. Just a back-and-forth affair. Jesse Smithy joined you here along with Kevin Smith. And Kevin, again, wild game. It was just kind of okay in the first half, but, man, turnovers, big plays happened in the second half.
Yeah, fireworks exploded in the second half. I actually thought coming here for postgame we were going to be talking about the game of missed extra points. Ended up not being a factor. But you look at Fulton, what a great job in the second half. Defense calls 3 interceptions, 2 on the first 2 drives for Campbell County on screen passes. They really did a good job at halftime getting down the screens of Campbell County. And Campbell County, man, when they watch this film tomorrow and this weekend, they're going to be sick at their stomach, Jesse. They had chance after chance to win this football game and keep themselves in the playoff hunt, and it just did not work out for them tonight.
People might be asking, why are you at Fulton tonight? There's Bearden Farragut, there's Greenville Elizabethton. Well, get this, Fulton's won 4 of its last 5 ball games now, and right there in the mix and trying to get that 5A playoff spot from their region. They got games coming up, though, with West and Oak Ridge, and that's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think West and Oak Ridge, they better do their homework and be ready for a physical football team. This Fulton team, we've talked about it, but I was impressed again tonight. Campbell County had a really hard time running the football, and I really like C.J. Allen, number 22, the running back for Campbell County. Tough football player, but it was tough sledding for him tonight. This is a really, really physical and tough defensive line for Fulton. And a D lineman tonight had an interception on a screen.
Anderson, yep.
Bill Anderson. I mean, Bill Anderson and the Vaughn brothers, these guys are fantastic up front. This is a very good football team that if you're not careful and you don't come to play and you're not ready for the physicality, Fulton can sneak up on you with their physical O-line and D-line.
Jared, let's go ahead and get to tonight's highlight package from Fulton, Campbell County. Again, Fulton wins 33-26. We'll get a little bit of the ebb and flow of the game. And coming out, Fulton comes right down the field. They get Mac McCovery going here, and he had a really nice night running the football. They
really started finding a little kink here where Campbell County was rushing off the edge to the boundary, so away from the field, and they were hitting them with it over and over and over again. And Fulton did a really good job of taking advantage of that.
Until there, they miss a field goal. There, like you mentioned earlier, there was a lot of missed PATs, but Fulton, I thought, did a good job of guarding their number 22, C.J. Allen, and containing him. He does get in the end zone a couple times tonight, but he had to earn everything he got.
He earned every yard tonight. This defensive line really stepped up, and linebackers were free flowing and making sound tackles. This is a very good effort in the second half. Fulton's defense was completely different in the second half, flying around the football and calls and turnovers.
Yeah, this is C.J. Allen's first rushing touchdown of the night for Campbell County, and they're in control of the first half. A mistake here by Fulton, don't get the punt off. Campbell County's going to make them pay.
Yeah, and that was a couple times. You saw a little in route here. Good job giving him time. The offensive line gave Campbell County's quarterback time there to make the throw. A couple times on punt tonight really hurt Fulton and kept Campbell County in the game.
This is where the game flips, though. Tommy Sweat, last play of the first half, he's going to scramble around, scramble over to his right, heave up about a 30-yard pass, and they bring it in right there, touchdown, cuts it to 14-7, and at that point you just feel like, okay, Fulton's got all the momentum. It carries over into the second half coming up right here.
Yeah, I mean, dude, what a play. I mean, what a high school football play there at the end of the half, getting the touchdown there. They really needed that. And then you saw here 2 interceptions in a row on the first 2 drives for Campbell County, 1 a pick 6, and really Fulton really kind of took over the game at that point.
I didn't get Big Bill Anderson's interception there. That's my fault.
Yeah,
Sorry about that,
really
Bill.
upsetting, man.
But we're seeing Fulton take advantage right here with Mac McCovery, and capitalizing on that second turnover. Points off of turnovers are always going to help you win.
Yeah, and I think once the turnovers started happening, you started seeing the O-line kind of take over for Fulton. They were really doing a good job of pushing Campbell County around up front.
It just got into a back-and-forth affair. You just saw C.J. Allen get his second touchdown. Another special teams miscue and misfire for Fulton tonight.
Yeah, and Campbell County was able to come down and convert that as well. This is a great play right here, little tunnel screen. And Mr. Mikkel Shepard taking that to the house. That was a huge play. That put him up 26-20 right here.
I was a little worried at that point that Campbell County was going to kind of take control of the game. You see a missed opportunity there by Fulton out of the back of the end zone on fourth down, but Fulton's defense comes right back, gets them the football, and it's running time with Mac McCovery.
Yeah, you see again, they're going back to the boundary. That was a huge play in the game, Jesse. It was 26-20. Campbell County, Fulton turns the ball over on downs with a throw at the back of the end zone. Campbell County goes 3 plays in a row, a little bit trying to run the football. That D-line stonewalled him for Fulton, and I really thought that kind of changed things because Campbell County could not recover at that point. They went a little conservative there, and Fulton came back with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Tommy Sweat got the go-ahead touchdown run, 9 yards. Campbell County comes right back inside the red zone. Another interception. We couldn't see it there. It was blocked, but Fulton comes up with yet another interception there in the second half, and what an inspired defensive effort by Fulton. And they get the win. This seals it. Mac McCovery, 97 yards. What happened on that play?
Campbell County, the ball's on the 1-yard line. You're trying to get in there, calls a safety, try to get the center to fumble the snap. You're kind of selling out for the quarterback sneak. Good call there by Fulton. Gave it to the running back. 2 good kick-out blocks. 97 yards to the house. What a great effort. Again, 14-0. It looked bleak. Fulton just hung in there. And when you let a football team hang around, they start making plays. 3 interceptions by Fulton's defense in the second half and some timely offensive plays sealed this victory for them, kept them in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, 4-4 now on the season. They've won 4 out of their last 5 ball games. Kind of saw this a year ago where they snuck into the playoffs with a Week 11 win. I think they knocked off Oak Ridge there in Week 11 to get into the 5A playoffs. Starting to show a little bit of life in this program, and it seems like there was no emotion, there was no energy. Good things have to happen for this football team for them to kind of believe in themselves, and that's what happens tonight.
Look, this is a championship program. The history of this program is a championship program. And when they've got the physicality up front that they do on the offensive and defensive line and the athletes that they can spread you out with, this is a very scary, dangerous football team. It's not a team that if they sneak in, say a 4 seed or a 3 or 4 seed, as a 1 and 2 seed, this is not the first round matchup that I would want to see because of their physicality and because they can make plays.
All right, Kevin, we're going to slide you out here. We're going to get Rob Black, head football coach at Fulton High School, in here. Rob, congratulations on the win. Don't hurt me with that championship ring. Going to break my knuckle. Tonight was a pretty wild game. A lot kind of back and forth there in the second half, and I wonder, did you sense a change in momentum when you guys did get that touchdown going into the half? Just kind of a different mentality out of your group?
You know, that's what we tried to bank on at halftime. I mean, we tried to feed off of that energy, you know. And so getting that huge touchdown right before halftime gave us a little momentum, and I thought it was really important that we come out and start the second half that same way. And I thought we did. You know, I thought we came out and were able to move the football and had some positive things happen. So we were really banking on that momentum. But, yeah, that was huge right before the half.
My guy Kevin over here, I know he's really big on your defensive line. We've watched him a couple times this year, and Bill Anderson gets an interception and really just making the impact in the second half, really helped turn them over, I think, 3 times.
Yeah, we turned them over 3 times, and that's huge. I mean, you know, they do a good job offensively, always have, and so anytime you can take the ball away from them, it obviously helps. And so, yeah, Bill got one, I think. You know, we had that huge one right there at the end by Jerondre Peebles, and then Jerrison Gibson picked one off on a screen and took it to the house. So 3 turnovers that were huge. You know, you spoke of our defensive line, and those guys, we've leaned on those guys all year long, and I can't say enough about them. I mean, they're playing both ways, and that's hard. But they're pretty good.
How hard has this season turnaround been? Y'all won 4 out of your last 5 games. You can notice the numbers are down a little bit on the sideline for various reasons, but to be in this position with a couple weeks left, and right now, if the playoffs happen, y'all would be in.
Yeah, that is huge. And we're down on numbers. We've got some guys out on contact tracing. We've had some virus stuff going on. We've got some injuries that you know about that are key guys, and And then we had a couple of discipline things that we had some guys out on tonight. So it was good to see, some other guys go in. I'll speak of Peanut there, number 9 for us, played corner, and he hadn't played he probably hadn't played 5 snaps all year long.
Wow.
And he played the whole night.
And I heard his name called a lot tonight, too.
Yeah, so he's active and athletic and doesn't have a ton of experience, but it's when you get guys like that in a football game and they're able to make some plays for you, it's huge. And so, we got 2 tough ones coming up to end the season, and in those you hope that you continue to get better and see yourself getting better and gain some confidence as you hope to get into the playoffs.
Well, you mentioned gaining confidence, and I mentioned it to Kevin right before you brought on. Early in the game, it seems like there's not a lot of self-belief on the Fulton sideline until some positive things start to happen, and then the lights come on and these guys kick it into another gear.
Well, unfortunately, we rely on momentum a lot, and so sometimes it takes somebody making a play and then somebody else making another one, and then you get that momentum, and then good things start happening for you. And so you got to take advantage of that when you get it. But that tells me right now we're not very consistent right now, and we got to get better at that.
Just looking ahead, you mentioned the next 2 games with West and Oak Ridge, and can you draw positives from the way the regular season ended last year, where y'all kind of fought your way into the playoffs and put that into place this year?
We went into the playoffs last year, or actually went into that last game last year in a situation where we didn't really control our own destiny. Like it's one of those deals where we got to win, and if we don't, somebody else has to beat somebody else. And I think we're in a little better shape right now, and so that's big, and we talked about that during the week that we get to control that and not try to bank on somebody else. And so you don't want to go into those looking for moral victories. I mean, you want to go into them looking for wins. And obviously the first one is West, and in our region they're the measuring stick right now, and they're as good as it comes, and they do a good job on both sides of the ball, and so we'll have our hands full. Well,
Rob, congratulations on the win tonight. Thanks for joining us and letting us come here to do 5 Star Live, and I wish you guys the best the rest of the way.
All right, thanks for having us.
All right,
buddy.
Everybody, thank you for joining us tonight on 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. What we like to do in this first segment every week is do a little giveaway, and we got a trivia question tonight. Jared, am I reading that, or we got to read on it? Okay, we got a video, so we're going to roll the video. Make sure when you send your answers to us on social media, you hashtag it 5 Star Live with your answer. Here's tonight's question.
Gold Star Nutrition presents East Tennessee High School Trivia. If you know the answer to the question, tweet it and use the hashtag 5StarLive, and you could win a gift certificate from Gold Star Nutrition. Tonight's trivia question is, how many state titles has Fulton won? Know the answer? Tweet it and use the hashtag 5StarLive, and we will randomly select a winner from those with correct answers. Thanks for playing trivia with 5 Star Live and Gold Star Nutrition.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at rockytophomeinfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0183.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose. Five Star Live Coaches and Players Hotline is brought to you by Knoxville area Waffle Houses. When you're hungry after the big game, get them smothered and covered 5-star prep style.
Welcome back to 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. A reminder, it's cold out here tonight. We're feeling the effects of that cold. When I get home, I'm turning my heater on. If something goes wrong with my heater, I'm calling John H. Coleman. Great supporter of high school athletics for a very long time. They've been on board with us here at 5 Star Preps, really almost since from the jump. So shout out to John H. Coleman. And again, if you're having problems with your heating, electrical, cooling, give them a call. Great family-owned business, been around for a long, long time. We now go to the Waffle House hotline, where we are joined by that man right there, Scott Meadows, head football coach at Pigeon Forge, back with the Tigers this season, 5-2, 2-2 in region play. Scott, thanks so much for joining us on an off night for you.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. It's an off night, but I'm sitting in my office right now watching film against Kinks. For Kinks.
Well, you guys played last night. You were one of a handful of games in the area that went on Thursday night, 35-0 win over Austin East. And look, I know Austin East is down this year, but anytime you get a win over an Austin East program, your kids were probably excited about it, right?
Definitely. I mean, they scared me to death every time they touched the football. I mean, they had athletes all over the field, and I thought we played fantastic defensively, and sporadically we played pretty decent offensively, and it was a good night.
You guys have pitched, I think, 3 shutouts this year. You're talking about your defense. What have been the keys when you look back at those 3 shutouts as to why that's happened?
Well, the biggest thing is, I mean, we try to 2 platoon as much as possible, and those guys over on the defensive side really, take pride in what they're doing, and they believe me, they on Monday morning whenever they come into school, they look for their tackles, and they want to know who's got the the most tackles, and they're playing together, they're swarming to the football. My defensive staff has just done a tremendous job with those guys, and just them believing that they can tackle the football and they play together. That's basically it.
I think I saw Big Mustafi just bulldoze somebody last night on a clip, and you got Hussein Al-Sultani that's out there making big plays at linebacker. And just who are some of the guys that have kind of not only helped you guys defensively but offensively this year as well?
Well, one person that nobody really talks about is one of our linebackers is Joseph Skidmore, and another one's Brady Maples. And those guys really play, they play their role, and they do a great job. And I've got Noah Dyer in the secondary. Caleb Hughes is an outside backer, and I could name really all 11 defensive players. Offensively, we spread the ball around a lot, and we don't necessarily just depend on one running back, and we spread the ball around, and those guys do a good job of blocking. We've got Bryce Effler back there, we've got Aiden Howard, who's a freshman, Aiden Littles, who's a sophomore. I mentioned Bryce Effler, he's a junior, and I'm playing a kind of a 2-quarterback system right now with Mason Schultz, who's a junior, and Tyson McFall, who's a sophomore, and all of them are playing pretty well right now.
You mentioned Kingston a minute ago, and it's definitely coming down to you and Kingston and Scott, who are trying to fight for those 2 playoff spots, the number 3 and number 4 seeds. Kingston gets beaten tonight by Alcoa, but what have you seen on Kingston so far early on in your preparation that maybe gives you concern?
Well, I mean, anytime you play a Kingston team, they're very physical, and they're going to be well coached, and being a Roane County guy, that if I grew up in Roane County, I mean, they're going to be, their whole town loves football, and so it's going to be definitely a big dog fight right there next Friday night, and hopefully we can go out there and play with them a little bit.
Last thing, Scott, we'll let you get out of here, and definitely appreciate you cutting out a few minutes tonight for us, and just wondering what the excitement level is around Pigeon Forge football with you coming back there this year, you guys getting off to a 5-2 start. Just what's it been like, especially in this COVID era where maybe you can't have as many fans there, but you got a big level of excitement down there?
You're breaking. I couldn't understand
I'm
you.
sorry.
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I mean, we're just wondering what the excitement level is down in Pigeon Forge with you guys being 5-2 early on this season.
Oh, it's everybody's excited. I mean, they really are. Especially after the last few years. Of going 1-9, and the guys have really bought into our system. We. Whenever I came in, I brought in, I kept 2 coaches, and I brought the rest of the guys in, and they bought into, our players have bought into our system and our belief, and so is the school and the community, and just like whenever we were there previously, everybody is very, very excited. With this COVID thing going on and the limited capacity, at the stadium on ball game night, we're usually sold out, just because everybody is very, very excited about the program and where it's headed.
Well, Scott, thanks so much again for joining us, and wish you all the best, and awesomely just getting off to a 5-2 start. Just congratulations on that, and hopefully we'll see you there in the postseason.
I sure appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
All right. That's Scott Meadows, head football coach at Pigeon Forge, and I'm so cold I can barely think straight sometimes. I don't even know what I'm saying up here, but remember to we answer our trivia question. We rolled that out just a few minutes ago. Hashtag it 5-Star Live, and we'll see if you can win a gift package tonight. And that trivia question was, how many state championships has Fulton won? And we'll check our social media here in just a few minutes and get an answer. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got so many highlights to get to in the area. Beard and Farragut, Mount Juliet, Oak Ridge, Central and Halls last night, Catholic and Baylor from last night. Stay with us right here on 5-Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman.
5-Star Live Coaches and Players Hotline is brought to you by Knoxville area Waffle Houses. When you're hungry after the big game, get them smothered and covered 5-star prep style.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at rockytophomeinfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0813.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
All right, welcome back to 5-Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. Thank you so much to Scott Meadows from Pigeon Forge for joining us on the Waffle House hotline there, and best of luck to his team the rest of the way. They got a big game coming up next week against Kingston, see if they can secure their spot in the playoffs. Scott beating Northview Academy the other night really kind of threw a wrinkle in that region and pushing Pigeon Forge to secure that spot, so we'll see what happens. All right, we got a trivia question. Answer the question, Kevin, was how many state championships has Fulton won in their program history? That answer is 6, the last coming in 2014. And there's our winner tonight, Jennifer Hayes. I believe she is a Fulton native, knows these parts very, very well. So congratulations to Jennifer. Definitely not stumping her tonight. Make sure you reach out to us and we'll get you that prize pack for answering the trivia question tonight.
Unfortunately, one of those cost us a state championship.
I mean, I wasn't going to bring it up. I'll let you bring it up.
It just hurt. I mean, I had to see it, so it hurt.
Yeah. So a lot of games last night in the area, and one of the top games in the area was Halls and Central. This was probably the game of the night last night, even though Baylor and Catholic came down to the final play. But Halls comes through. Not much momentum going on in the first half. You see Ty Humphrey getting sacked. You see him throwing the ball away. Central pressure coming in hot and heavy. Caleb Fortner blocks a punt partially there. He's going to block another here in just a minute. And Central's defense was just all over them early last night. We've gotten to see Central quite a bit.
Yeah, and I think it's a really good defense, and it's really kept them in the games here early on in the season. And, hey, man, how about this Halls team? This Halls team had to take almost a month off. Has come back and won this game against Central and won it in dramatic fashion on 3rd and 6 with 3 minutes to go, throwing I think a 70-yard touchdown pass on cover zero. Central goes cover zero, and Halls connects. And they made the plays when they had to make the plays, Jesse, and that's really a testament to this football team, because what a win for them last night.
The fact that they were even hanging around in there. We saw Jaden Horton, number 5 for Central, just lay the wood to a guy a second ago. He's the young man I've been telling you about all state last year. Had to sit out with a broken collarbone, but Halls continues to work their way back into it, and they find Nolan Faust there. Nolan Faust is a kid we got to see at the Tennessee-Kentucky Futures game 2 years ago. Loved his speed and agility, and as his frame has grown, he's gotten to be an even better player. He had a monster night last night, over 160 yards receiving.
Yeah, he had 2 big plays. I mean, really, that's the game. I mean, two big plays there, and them controlling the football and playing good defense against Central.
Yeah, Jaden Horton right there with the interception, but it just seemed like no matter what the mistakes were that Halls made, they were able to stay in the game with maybe their defensive effort, and they came up with some big interceptions late against Central.
Yeah, and we thought Jaden coming back would help the Central offense open it up a little bit so everybody couldn't just keep their eye on Liam there. Mm-hmm. But last night, again, Halls played great defense. Central still struggling a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. They still have a defense that can win a championship, but they've got to make some plays, and especially there late in the game when you're up 3 minutes to go, you can't give up the 70-yard bomb.
Yeah, here comes the other one to Nolan Faust there, and they say he has 4.4 speed. I don't have a laser timer. I've seen him up close. He's fast. He had, again, over 160 yards receiving. Probably going to be up for 5-Star Preps Player of the Week. And here's one of the game-sealing interceptions. And as you mentioned, they're going to have to do something next week. They have South Doyle next week on Thursday night. Central does, and they can't just keep turning the football over. And that was the game-clinching interception as Halls wins the Battle of Black Oak Ridge last night, 20-16. Just when you're talking about Scott Cummings going into their first year last year, doing some good things. I think they started off 5-0, and then now in year 2, you're knocking off the 2-time defending state champions. That's progress.
Yeah, and you saw the 2 big plays there, and we talk about 4.4 speed. The kid can flat out fly. And then the execution there at the end of the game, again, down 3, 16-13, 3 minutes to go, and put Central brought their best player on the blitz, and Mr. Fortner. The back did an excellent job of picking up the blitz, gave the quarterback just enough time to get it over the top, and they score a touchdown there in cover zero. And the kid, the outside linebacker / safety, never even touched the wide receiver because he's so fast. And so you saw them execute last night. This is a Halls football team. I mean, kudos to them being off, and they beat the 2-time defending state champs. And if you're Central, you got to find a little bit of a passing game or to complement your running game, or you're going to be in trouble because you got some really good football teams left on your schedule.
Yeah, last night Catholic High School welcomed Baylor School out of Chattanooga for another Division II AAA region game. Catholic, when you look back to last year, they've been competitive in a lot of these Division II AAA games since rejoining Division II last year. A lot haven't gone their way. Last night, they came out flat. They just did not look to be in sorts early on.
They've had a little up and down, topsy-turvy year as well, with games getting canceled, not canceled, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, then they're back, then they don't know if they're playing. But this is a football team that's got to find a way to stop the run. And listen, Mr. Howard from Baylor is the real deal. I mean, this guy is a really good football player.
Right.
He can do it all, but you can't give up 257 yards rushing to him last night. You got to find a way to stop him and force Baylor to throw the football.
Yeah, Elijah Howard, former Webb School of Knoxville running back, transferred down to Baylor prior to the 2019 season. He is now committed to Tennessee. Last night, I'm just going to let you watch him run this. Oh, ankles.
His vision, it's uncanny. His vision is uncanny. His balance, you see his balance there. He can start and stop on a dime. His acceleration immediately. He is a fantastic back. I mean, this is what if you're a UT fan, if you're a University of Tennessee fan, this is the type of player you want to see coming into your program. He's that good.
Now watch this power. I mean,
yeah, he was breaking tackles all night. I mean, he was. Great player. I mean, just a great player.
When I'm slowing down video and I'm putting it in slow motion, it's good. 257 yards last night on 37 carries and a touchdown run for Elijah Howard. And Catholic just had no answer for him. They had some mistakes, had some penalties. They dropped this interception right here and just could not get things going in the first half against Baylor.
Yeah, and I think you saw at the end of the game there, 9 for 24 throwing the football for Catholic. Got to find a way to get a little bit more of a balanced attack, get more of the running game started, and get some more playmakers involved. And quite frankly, Jesse, just get the playmakers the ball and let them make plays.
Yeah. Key fourth down pass here by Catholic keeps the drive going. They turn right back around, turn the football over. Again, this is in the third quarter, I believe. They're trying to get back in the game and just can't find a way to do that. See Caden Martin scrambling there, an incomplete pass. I think that was a 4th and 14 play, if I believe. And then Baylor comes back down and they start running Elijah Howard. They're just in complete control of this game. At no point in this game, I almost left. I just thought, there's no way Catholic's going to come back. Baylor is just in complete control.
Yeah, and then you saw Catholic make a few plays. You saw Caden Martin get loose out of the pocket and make a play. And really, right here, you're watching Baylor's kicking game. It almost cost them last night.
Yeah.
There at the end, but you saw Caden make a play, get a rushing
right
touchdown,
here.
And got him back in the game.
That made it 17-10.
And then you see Baylor throw a pass from the opposite hash all the way across the field to the numbers instead of handing it to this guy, and you had to be thinking to yourself, a pick six for Catholic, and we have a tie ball game.
Yeah.
And you're thinking to yourself, what has just happened?
Yeah, it comes right there. Nicholas Iverson jumps the route, takes it 51 yards. He's the one that dropped the interception earlier, so good for him for making amends. That ties it up at 17, and then Baylor's quarterback makes a nice pass here on a rollout, gets them down into the red zone. They start pounding Elijah Howard. They get it down to the 1, and it starts to get interesting with their kicking game, like you mentioned. Yeah,
and look, great pass right there, great play. I thought they really needed to get Elijah into the end zone here because the kicking game had been a little iffy there, but they stop him. They stop him down here inside right before they get in to score, and then you're going to see the wobbly kick here that barely gets in. I thought he might have snuck in right there, but they're lucky to get this in.
Yeah, I'm just going to let you watch it. Bad snap coming up here.
Great job by the holder, Jesse.
Yeah,
unbelievable
to
job.
Even salvage that. It barely crosses the crossbar. Baylor wins 20-17.
And let me give the kicker credit. A lot of times when you have a bad snap, they'll freak out, and sometimes they won't even go to kick the ball. You got to give the holder and the kicker a lot of credit there to get the W.
Yeah, just barely goes over the crossbar. Catholic now 2-4 on the season. Have not won a Division II game yet this season. I went back and looked at last year and this year combined. A lot of these games that Catholic is in with the Brentwood Academies and the McCaulleys and the Baylors, the Father Ryans, are all close games, but Catholic just hasn't been able to get over the hump.
You know, this is it's a really tough league. And when you're talking about Division II, AA, and AAA, there's no hiding. And what I mean by that is as soon as your game's over, your film goes into a pool. And everybody has every game that you play. There's no not swapping film or I'm not going to give you this film. There's no hiding in this league. And it is tough sledding week in and week out. And then you add the travel, Jesse. It's a very tough schedule for anybody that plays in this league. It is why a lot of people think it's one of the top echelons of high school football here in Tennessee because of the coaching, the players, and how hard it is to each week get ready to play another great football team.
I mean, Catholic had a chance against Brentwood Academy. They threw it into the end zone with 1 second left, didn't complete it. going into the fourth quarter against McCallie, they were down, I think, just 4 points. McCallie beat them in the fourth quarter 10-0, and then last night able to rally against Baylor, just can't close the door. So we'll see. Catholic's they got two games coming up with Innsworth, Father Ryan, and Father Ryan's playing.
Father Ryan is a really good football.
Playing some really good football right now.
DC, their quarterback, App State assignee commit, he is the real deal. They got their hands full with this young man. And then we know what Innsworth always has players. They got a guy going to Ohio State. I mean, this is a very tough schedule for them, and they got to win both of them, Jesse, to get in the playoffs.
So we'll see if Catholic can work its way into the playoffs like they did a year ago. One of the marquee games tonight, Farragut and Bearden, West Knoxville rivalry that always delivers, but tonight it only delivered for about a half. Farragut and Bearden were kind of locking horns in the first half. Farragut does go ahead to win 45-17. Farragut puts up 494 yards of total offense. Bearden not too bad, around 300 yards, rushed for 242 yards, and that's what Dobbins Bennett did to Farragut a week ago, ran the football well against them. Bearden comes in and does the same thing, but I think this Farragut team was out to prove that last week, that loss to Dobbins Bennett, not maybe their best, but they can right the ship and still get a good playoff seeding, and they're going to be a team to watch in 6A.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Bearden and you run for 240 yards, you expect to win the football game. And really the formula there is to keep the ball away from this Farragut offense and keep them on the sideline. So if you're Bearden, you're kind of scratching your head saying, what else do we have to do to beat this Farragut team?
So Farragut, again, puts up a ton of yardage tonight. No turnovers. That was key. Bearden had 3 turnovers tonight. Farragut's able to capitalize on that. But John Carlovato, the young quarterback there, he's going to be one that I think we watch over the next few years. I've seen out of him this year kind of a light switch come on. Not fully lit, but you're seeing more confidence out of him. And that young man, Dawson Moore, has had really a fantastic season. I didn't know if he was going to be the guy earlier in the year. He coming in, he's taking over for Gavin Wilkinson, who is a college caliber quarterback, and early in the season, Dawson Moore maybe just didn't have that confidence, but he's playing really well right now.
Well, and you saw him. He's hitting spot routes right there in between defenders. He's doing a good job of seeing the field and getting the ball to his guys, and he's making good decisions. And like you said, we saw it here tonight. You turned the football over here at this Fulton game, and Fulton wins the football game, and they had a touchdown on defense. You're Farragut, and you don't turn the ball over, and Bearden turns the ball over 3 times, 95% of the time you're not winning that football game.
Touchdown pass, not just an out route to Matt White, and I know he's had a fantastic night, but Farragut rushes for 309 yards tonight against Bearden in that 45-17 win. So going forward for Farragut, we'll see how they tackle these last 2 games and move into the 6A playoffs. Probably not going to be one of those teams that everybody talks about and says, hey, watch out for Farragut, but there are some components and some pieces in place for them to have a nice postseason run.
They've got the offense to get some things done. They've got the ability to throw the ball. If the running game's not working, they got the ability to be balanced. They also have the ability just to throw it 50 times if they need to. It's the defense that's really got to find their footing. If they can find a way to get a little bit better and a little bit more stringent on the run game, they've got an opportunity here in the playoffs.
All right, Jared, we can probably go ahead and shut that one off. The other game we were at tonight was Mount Juliet and Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge last year goes on the road to Mount Juliet, a team that you know well, and they pick up a win tonight, and Kendall Jackson comes back tonight for Oak Ridge and starts running wild again.
Oh, man, he looks good tonight. It looks like he's finally healthy, Jesse, and that's what we want to see. He's a really good football player, and I still can't get over the video we had from Hardin Valley where he's breaking 7 tackles. I mean, his yards after carry are tremendous. You saw this Oak Ridge defense right here.
Nicholas Adams.
With the turnovers. They were active on the D-line as well. So to see them get back going again, this is a Mount Juliet team that has consistently been a quarterfinal, semifinal type team in 6A football, and now Oak Ridge is beating them 2 years in a row.
Yeah, it's a great win for the Oak Ridge football program, who's been kind of up and down all season long. You mentioned the injuries to Kendall Jackson, and I know that's kind of handcuffed the offense a little bit, but you see the toughness in Kendall Jackson. When even though he didn't get a 30-yard run out of that and turn the ball over, you see him being confident enough again to run that hard and to put it into play. So 2 years in a row that they knock off Mount Juliet. From what I saw on social media, Oak Ridge regained possession with about 5 minutes to go. up 27-21, and they play big boy football, and they milked that last 5 minutes off the clock.
That's all. That is a big boy drive. When you can take the ball with 5 minutes to go and you're winning the game, and you go down and hold the ball and secure a victory, that's big time. And that's big time that's playoff football. When you talk about being able to win the game, sometimes you don't want to lose the game. They went out and won the football game. This is a huge win, Jesse. This is a very tough region. This is a very tough 5A here in Knoxville. I think we're going to have fireworks in the playoffs, and for them to get this win against a very good 6A football team, this has got to do a lot for their program and going into the playoffs. Yeah,
and a big confidence-boosting win for Oak Ridge as they go into Week 10 next week, knowing that they can knock off a program like that and that they might be one of these 5A playoff contenders again. All right, let's look around the area as we wrap up the show. CAK stays undefeated. They knock off Boyd Buchanan 34-10. Big game next week between CAK and Grace Christian. Maryville wins easily tonight. We haven't seen Maryville just blast somebody in the first half. They blasted somebody in the first half tonight and ran away from Ottawa 56-12. Alcoa wins 41-0 at Kingston. We mentioned Farragut getting the win. Carnes another win this year. They knock off Heritage 40-30. Webb gets a win over Silverdale, so Webb kind of stays there in the playoff seeding picture. Morristown East comes back. They were down 43-42 late against Volunteer. They get a late touchdown to win 49-43. Meigs County knocks off Oneida. They're going to win the region championship again. Meigs County wins 33-17. That's 4 losses in a row for Oneida. I'm going to say it again. I still think they're going to be okay in 2A playoffs.
Yeah, we talked about Fulton earlier about being a 3 or 4 seed. I do not want to see Oneida with their running game, their running back, and a very sound physical defense. That is not a team I want to see in the first, second round of the playoffs if I'm a higher seeded team from another region.
Yeah, and the final kind of big game of this week was Greenville-Elizabethton. I know Greenville's down just a little bit, but they had come into this game with a 4-game winning streak. Of course, Elizabethton is the defending state champions in 4A, and for a while it was a game. I think it was 16-10 at half, and then after the half, Bryson Rollins, the quarterback for Elizabethton, just went nuts. Over 130 yards rushing tonight, 3 touchdowns on the ground, also threw for, I think, over 200 yards. He's a legit player. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to see him, but he's a guy who won a state championship a year ago as a sophomore, and now he's hitting that junior year, that pivotal year when it comes to your development, and he's just taken off.
Yeah, exciting to watch is all you can say. And again, we've talked about it, the quarterbacks here in the area, especially our younger quarterbacks, these guys are athletic. They can throw, they can run. This is exciting times to be up in the East Tennessee area with the amount of quarterbacks we have that can really make plays and are fun to watch.
So Elizabethton wins that game 44-10. Looking ahead to next week, McMinn County Maryville. It's coming. Both teams undefeated. We were talking before the show, or before, I don't know, what was it, first half? About whether or not we should take 5 Star Live down there. It's a long journey to Athens. I think it's going to be one of the better games next week.
Well, let me tell you something. Parker McGill's rested. He only had 8 or 10 touches tonight.
Yeah.
Okay? Carson Jones. I said that right, correct?
Carson Jones.
Went, what, it was 18 for 20?
18 of 19 passing.
18 of 19. If Carson Jones can play like that, and as well as he can also run the ball, and you know what Parker McGill is going to give you, this is going to be exciting. Yeah. I'm really anxious to see McMinn County. McMinn County has shown us some stuff defensively, defensive line, that they can get after you. And then they got some dudes on offense that can flat out run the football. This is going to be a fun one.
Well, they came into the game against Maryville last year undefeated and kind of feeling good about themselves. And Maryville put the clamps down on Jalen Hunt, the running back from McMinn County, who's probably going to be in the mix for Mr. Football. It's okay, what did we learn from that loss last year? What mistakes did we make? Was it mental? Was it just being intimidated? And when I watched them play this year, I don't think they're intimidated by anybody. They got big dudes up front. Bryce Goodner going to Virginia Tech. Cade Hipps, one of their defensive ends, is a legit 1AA possibly of Division I player. And, of course, I mentioned Jalen Hunt. Their quarterback is playing well this year. So I really think that McMinn County-Maryville game will be definitely one to watch next week. And
they're not going to Maryville. which can be daunting. A young football team going in for the first time, seeing all the state championships, seeing the aura of the place, and the place is rocking and rolling. Maryville's coming down to McMinn County this year. There's going to be a little bit different vibe in the air. I don't think you're going to see that fear, and you've already mentioned it. You always learn from that previous year and how to bounce back. All right, I'm cold. Let's get out of here. Thank you guys for watching the show. We've been able to control our shakes up here on set. So thanks so much to John H. Coleman for sponsoring 5 Star Live. We'll see you all in Week 10.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at rockytophomeinfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0813.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Since 1945, the John H. Coleman Company has been serving the East Tennessee area. We wouldn't have made it for 75 years without the experience and hard work of our quality employees. When it comes to heating and air conditioning, our goal is to make your experience stress-free, whether buying a new unit or servicing your current equipment. The way we do that is making sure you have the information you need to make the right decision. East Tennessee is our home, too. We've proudly served you for 75 years and look forward to serving you for many years to come. John H. Coleman Company, trusted since 1945.
Great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never quit. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.